Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Robbie's World of Sports. You're catching me live right now on Facebook Live. Tune in to my Twitch, also at YouTube, all at Robbie's World of Sports. We're going to get started here right now. So here we go. Sit back and relax, everybody, and enjoy the show. I'm Robbie Lopez with your Sports Town update powered by the Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in media, go to beonair.com. United States draw with Wales after a late Garth Bale penalty to tie the game up at 1-1. Timothy Weah scored the classy goal in the 36th minute to give the U.S. the lead at halftime, but Garth Bale struck from the penalty spot late in the second half to earn Wales an important point. Next up for the U.S. is a massive test against the group leaders England on Friday at 1 p.m. on Fox. Bears quarterback Justin Fields injured his left shoulder in the final moments of the Chicago's 27-24 loss to the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday and required further medical examination following the game. Also, Atlanta Falcons lost their tight end Kyle Pitts for the season after tearing his MCL. Today's news conference, Bears head coach Matt Eberflus told the media that Justin Fields will be day-to-day and reevaluated on Wednesday. Bears' next opponent will be in New York to take on the 6-4 Jets. Kickoff at noon. Chicago Bulls are back on the court tonight after last game's loss to the Magic, 108-107 at the UC, after Bulls coach benched Zach LaVine for not meeting standard of play and missing 13 of 14 shots. The last time LaVine got benched, the time Bolin did so in November of 2019. All LaVine did the next game was sink 13 three-pointers, score 49 points, and sink the game-winning shot to beat Charlotte on the road. Let's see if LaVine can repeat that tonight against the Boston Celtics. Tip-off at 7 p.m. The Blackhawks officially raised Marian Hossa's number 81 to the United Center rafters on Sunday, and it was a night that won't be forgotten by anyone that was in the building. Blackhawks hosted the Penguins, who also had a player making a milestone that night. Eugene Malkin played his 1,000th NHL game. This has been your Sports Sound update, powered by the Illinois Media School. If interested in a career, go to beonair.com. And welcome to another edition of Robbie's World of Sports right here on SportsTownChicago.com. You can also catch me live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, all at Robbie's World of Sports. Let's get this show started. It is great to be back here in the studios right here in Lombard, Illinois. It is great to be with you on this wonderful Monday night. There's a lot to get to you. We're going to talk about the Bears' loss in Atlanta. So Fields hurting his shoulder. Also talking about Monday Night Football, Cardinals versus 49ers in Mexico. That game is being played tonight. And we're also going to talk about Hossa's retirement game last night. I had the fortunate, luckily, to go to that game, and it was a magnificent ceremony. If you were not there, you had to be there. So let's get this started. Let's sit back and relax, everybody. Enjoy the show. We're going to get this show started with a press conference release that was today, and here it is. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was the press conference from today. You heard Justin Fields explaining to the media about his shoulder issues that he suffered late in the game last night, or yesterday, I should say. And then you have Matt Eberflus go more into details of the injury. He'll be, obviously, like you just heard, he'll be evaluated tomorrow, or actually Wednesday. And then it's just basically day to day. We're going to see what he is going to feel like when Wednesday comes. So hopefully we have some good news. But in the meantime, I would love for your input on what you think the Chicago Bears should do. Should they shelf him for the rest of the season and just play our backup quarterback, Trevor Siemian, for the rest of the year, and then let the losing begin? There's something that I also want to talk to you guys about. I'm going to put it out there right now. It's something that I was talking to among some friends of mine about the Bears season and stuff like that. But I brought up a very valid point. And the way I've been watching these games, which we've been competitive in the last 3 games. We've only lost by either a point or by 3 points. The majority of the season, we've lost close games, other than the 2 games that we've gotten beaten by. That was the Cowboys and I believe in the Packers. We lost by more than a touchdown. But all these other games that we've played played a competitive game, only losing by a point or by 3 points. So the question is, for you viewers out there listening, is the Bears really trying to tank this season in order to get a better draft pick without making it seem like they're tanking? Meaning that, are they going to continue to stay competitive with the way Justin Fields is going to, if he continues to play the remaining of the season with this shoulder injury really hurting him or not? If the Bears decide to stick with him, does he still make the Bears a competitive team but still lose these games really close? Like, for instance, this next game we got coming up with the Jets. I have the Bears beating the Jets, but with the Jets in so much turmoil with that team going on, there's a good chance that the Bears could win. But there's also a good chance that the Jets can come into this game and really beating us. Their defense, Jets defense, is really good. I think they have a better defense than the Bears does. So I have to give the edge to the Jets. But do you really think that the Bears are going to continue this little competitiveness, but still find a way to lose the game at the end, like we've basically seen the last couple of weeks? You know, they had the lead with Miami. They gave it up in late in that fourth quarter. Same thing with who do they play after the Dolphins? I'm drawing a blank. The Lions, where we just lost by a point, 31-30. That was still a high-scoring game. very competitive. It just obviously came back. It came down to the last possession, and we lost that game. And then now this past weekend where we went into Atlanta looking really good, but then just finding a way to lose it in the end of the fourth quarter. So if you can answer that question for me, go to my Facebook page, Robbie's World of Sports. It's also a poll question up on my Twitter page at Robbie's World of Sports where you can answer yes or no. Go there. I will see what the current poll is at, and I will let you guys know what the percentage is at the end of the show. But that was something that caught me off guard because of how I've been watching these games. And it just seems like they're so close. Like this team can be a competitive team if we could just really find a way to just close the door in the fourth quarter and still win some of these games. We should have won the game against Miami, but again, we found a way to lose that game. Same thing with Detroit. We were winning that game, but we found a way to lose it in the fourth quarter. And then again, this past weekend. Now we got the Jets coming up. After the Jets, we have Green Bay Packers at home. We all know what that team is going through. Is Aaron Rodgers going to show up in Chicago, or is he just going to just show up because it's Aaron Rodgers? It's Green Bay versus Chicago. You know how he likes to embarrass us at home. So what kind of quarterback are we getting out of Aaron Rodgers? Is he going to come in here and put on a show for the Green Bay Packers, or is he just going to like throw this game because maybe this could possibly be his last year with the Green Bay Packers? And he's like, you know what, this season's pretty much done. We're out. They lost last week Thursday to the Tennessee Titans. So a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions that are going to be answered in the next couple of weeks about the Chicago Bears. Me personally, in my point of view, I think they're not doing it on purpose because they're not the Houston Texans, who they are just garbage. They're just a garbage team that is still finding their identity and their culture and all that, what Lovie Smith is trying to do down there. But we're right now sitting third in next year's draft with the current record that we're at. And if we go in and beat the Jets, we might fall a little bit down to fourth or fifth. But I honestly think what Ryan Poles is doing is genius. I think he's doing a phenomenal job in what he's doing this year. He already went out at the trade deadline and traded away Robert Quinn and Roquan Smith for some draft capital, which we're going to definitely need next year. So with that said, why not continue that trend and try to get a higher draft pick for next year? So that way you will have a higher pick for first round. We got 2 second rounds, but one's going to Baltimore. So, and then we got a bunch of thirds and fourths and fifths. So why not do that? Increase your chances to get a higher draft pick next year, possibly a third round or a first rounder, third pick, and we'll see what happens and build for next year, because this team going into next year is one of the teams that has a high amount of money to spend next year, over $100 million next year towards free agency to go really out and get a number one receiver and really, really revamp this team for next year. So go ahead, do whatever you're doing, Ryan Poles, and really position yourself for a better year next year. Because if things are panning out the way we're looking at it, Aaron Rodgers is probably no longer going to be with the Green Bay Packers next year. He may be either traded, he could retire if he's not happy with the direction of the Green Bay Packers is going, and then eventually find someone after that year, because he won't be able to, if he retires, he wouldn't be able to play that next year. So look for him to come back in 2024 with a new team we shall see. This all leads up into what next year is going to look like. We already seen this year Minnesota Vikings is pretty much dominating this NFL or NFC North. They're just running away with it. They're going to represent us in the playoff. So kudos to the Minnesota Vikings. They have done a phenomenal job. They've been my surprising team because I didn't have them. So, but coming up next, we're going to get into more of the Bears talk right here on Robbie's World of Sports. You're listening to on SportsTownChicago.com. Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're taking a break right now. We're going to go right into the second segment of our show. We're going to continue to talk about Bears and just the direction that they're going in. Like I said, I honestly think that this team is, as much as that they're trying to stay competitive, I think they're just trying to tank without noticing that they're tanking, sort of kind of like what the Houston Texans are doing. But yeah, they just there's a lot that could go on for the rest of the season. You know, depending on the severity of this shoulder injury, is Fields going to be shelved for the remaining of the season? I think that's probably your best bet. But if he's able to go and it's just a sore shoulder, and by Sunday it's feeling good, by all means, you put him out there and you put your best product out there on the field to give you the best chance to win. And right now, he is the best chance that we have at winning, even though our defense sucks and it gives up big plays for other teams to win the games. As we've seen last couple of weeks, you know, we go in, we're winning, we're up, and then our defense allows a touchdown or a late field goal to win the game. And it's just unacceptable. It's really unacceptable. It's embarrassing for us Bears fans to watch this, especially with the offense. It seems like the offense is finally starting to click. I love what Betsy's doing. So he's given Fields the freedom to be mobility, to mobile his ways down the field and stuff. So, but we're getting back here in about 40 seconds. We're going to get to the second half. So again, I think I touched on it a little bit last one. So, but we're going to get right. We'll continue it right here. Is the Bears tanking while still being competitive at the same time? We'll see. Actually, you know what? We didn't really talk about – we really talked more about this, but we're going to continue to talk about this, I guess. I didn't really talk about the game, so we're going to talk about that. Here we go. All right, for those of you that are just joining my show right now, that's just a clip that I played earlier to open the show up. It's Justin Fields explaining about his shoulder issues and the precautionaries that they're going to take. They're going to look at him come Wednesday to see how he feels. Hopefully, it's just a sprain or it's just a sore shoulder. Kind of say that really fast couple of times. But we're gonna talk more into about that. It happened at the last possession of the game in the late fourth quarter. He got pushed out of bounds and landed on that shoulder. He got up and he kind of like gave that, yeah, it hurts a little bit, kind of maybe like a stinger. If you play football, you kind of know what that feels like when you got a little, a stinger in the shoulder. Uh, I've had it many times playing high school football. It's not a very happy pain. It's very painful. So maybe it just needs a couple of days to just relax, get it nice and loose, and then hopefully by Sunday he'll be ready to go come in New York to play against the Jets. But that whole game that whole game was great. Like, I love the way they were moving the ball. They were tied in the first quarter 7-7 going to the second quarter. They again were tied 17-17, and it just seemed like everything was going great. Second half just was just not for the Bears. Atlanta came out, scored a touchdown. It gave them the lead. And then in the fourth quarter, we tied it up. But then again, like I said, it's just our defense just gives up big plays to give the other team an opportunity to win the game. And that's exactly what happened this time around. Just like last week against Detroit, the week before that against Miami, we have to find a way when we have the lead to find a way to get the defense to get a stop. However that is, whatever it takes to get a stop and win the game for us. And it just, to me, this is just what really irks me the most. Is like you're playing a really good football game, all four quarters, and then you just happen to give up a big play, and then you set up a field goal, a winning field goal, 53-yard field goal for Atlanta to win the game. When is it going to stop? When is Matt Eberflus going to tell his guys, listen, we have the lead. Let's get a stop. We have to stop them. No penalties. Do not give up any penalties. And what happens? There's a penalty drawn on defense, or something goes the other way for the team, and it's just right down, and we lose the game on a late field goal when we should have had that game won. It's going to be interesting to see what we do against against the New York Jets, a team that's obviously in shambles itself. They're still trying to figure out their quarterback situation. So this could possibly be a win for us. But I said that same thing going into Detroit. I thought that was going to be a winner. But people were telling me, hey, don't sleep on Detroit. Don't sleep on Detroit. I'm like, yeah, it's Detroit. Detroit is who Detroit is. But what happened? They found a little fire under their butts, and they won the game. They beat us. They beat the Bears 31-30. So, again, when is Matt Eberflus going to tell his defense to step up, to play, to finish the game, to close out the game? No fouls, no penalties. Don't give them any easy plays. But no, it just all the time. It happens every time. Never a doubt that there's a dull moment that the Bears will always find a way to kind of screw them up or screw them over in a way where they just cough up the ball, or a defensive penalty, give them another first down. It's just, I don't know. I thank God I'm not a coach or offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, because I would basically ring them out and literally give it to them. These are $1 million players. They're getting paid to play football. and all you have to do is tackle or not commit a penalty. And I'm sorry, if any players find a way to cost the game, I promise you that player is not going to play next week. I don't care if this guy is a star player. If you're a star player, you need to lead by example. And so, therefore, if you can't lead by example, you, sir, are going to sit on a bench. Because I want players who are going to play competitive football, 4 quarters, who are going to stop the offense and give my team a chance to win, to close it out. That's just me. I wish we had a head coach that was like that. That was, you have a game plan, stick to the game plan. And if you can't find anybody that's willing to work with your system, then you need to find players that are willing to step up and take the reins and show you what type of player that player is. So, and that's what leads into the next question. What is this eventual season looking at? We're already going into 12 weeks. So we got 5 more weeks left for the regular season. These next 5 games, let's see. I'll take the win against the Jets, but that's still a question mark because it's always going to be in the back of my head. Yeah, we're up by 3, or we're up by a touchdown. Is our defense going to allow the other team to come down, march down the field late in the quarter, either win by a touchdown or win by a field goal? So that game's a question mark. Green Bay game. I think Green Bay's going to come in here and show us who our daddy is. And then after that is our bye. So we'll be refreshed for that game. Then we'll have the Eagles at home, which will probably get annihilated. The Bills at home. Bills are going to come in and torch us. Then we go to at Detroit on January 1st, and then we close it out against the Vikings at home. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games are left. 6 games left, and I'll have them going 1-5. If they beat the Jets, they'll lose against the Packers. They're going to lose against the Eagles. They'll lose against the Bills. Hey, why not? The Lions already beat us. Lions will beat us again, and then we'll lose against the Vikings. So that's a good possibility that we should able to require a high draft pick for next year's draft. So, yeah, this season's a lost season. It sucks. It sucks watching the Bears play at a competitive level, but still able to find ways of losing. But hey, we have something to look forward to next year. A lot of good things to look forward to next year. Again, like I said, a lot of draft capital going into the draft next year. A high free agency salary cap, over $100 million. So definitely going to be looking into some veteran players. Definitely got to go out and get a number 1 receiver. I think that's your number 1 priority, is to beef up on that. You definitely got to beef up on the defense side of the ball. You definitely got to beef up on that offensive line a little bit. Even though they're starting to kind of gel a little bit, I see them able to hold the line. They're able to give Fields the ability to look down the field, progress his views, and then if he doesn't make a play, he can extend the play with his feet, which we all been seeing it for the last couple of weeks. So there are good things for this Chicago Bears team. Unfortunately, this is just a lost cause this year. So that being said, we're going to get into the next segment. Monday Night Football. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up next after the bottom hour, we're going to talk into the Monday Night Football matchup. Arizona Cardinals hosting, I believe they're hosting the – yes, I take that. Yes, they are hosting the 49ers in Mexico City tonight. We're going to talk about that right here on Sports Town Chicago. You're listening to Robbie's World of Sports. I'm Robbie Lopez with your Sports Town update powered by the Illinois Media School. If interested in a career in the media, go to beonair.com. The Blackhawks officially raised Marian Hossa's number 81 to the United Center rafters on Sunday, and it was a night that won't be forgotten by anyone that was in that building. Blackhawks hosted the Penguins, who also had a player making a milestone that night. Eugene Malkin played his 1,000th NHL game and went on to beat the Blackhawks 5-3. Blackhawks' next game is scheduled for Wednesday when they travel to Dallas to take on the Stars. Puck drop at 7:30. Chicago Bulls are back on the court tonight after last game's loss to the Magic, 108-107 at the UC, after Bulls coach benched Zach LaVine for not meeting a standard of play and missing 13 of 14 shots. The last time LaVine got benched, the time Bolin did so in November of 2019. All LaVine did the next game was sink 13 points, score 49 points, and sink the game-winning shot to beat Charlotte on the road. Let's see if LaVine can repeat that tonight against the Boston Celtics. Tip-off at 7 o'clock. Bears quarterback Justin Fields injured his left shoulder in the final moments of the Chicago's 27-24 loss to the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday and required further medical examination following the game. Also, Atlanta Falcons lost their tight end Kyle Pitts for the season after an MCL tear. Today's news conference, Bears head coach Matt Eberflus told the media that Justin Fields will be day-to-day. Bears' next opponent will be in New York to take on the 6-4 Jets. Kickoff at noon. The United States draw with Wales after a late Garth Bale penalty to tie the game at 1-1. Timothy Way scored a classy goal in the 36th minutes to give the U.S. the lead at halftime, but Bale struck from the penalty spot late in the second half to give Wales an important point. Next up for the U.S. is the group leaders England on Friday at 1 p.m. Up. All right, everybody, what's going on? How's everybody doing? Let me see what kind of comments anybody put out there. Nope, no comments today, but that's all right. I got 2 viewers watching and 2 viewers listening on Sports Town Chicago. That's good. That's always good. I love when people have to come in and listen. I love that you guys are listening. I hope you like the content you are listening to. If you do, be sure to hit that subscribe button on both the YouTube and Twitch. And then if you're following me on Facebook, make sure to add me on Robbie's World of Sports. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Monday. I know here in Chicago, it's actually a little bit warmer than it was over the weekend. It's 44 degrees here. Last week, or I said over the weekend, it was very cold here in Chicago. So I hope everybody is having a wonderful Monday. It's going to be a short week. We got Thanksgiving on Thursday. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, happy holidays and a wonderful Thanksgiving. And I will probably go live on Thursday to kind of give everybody a special Thanksgiving shout out and let everybody know what I am thankful for on a very special day on Thanksgiving. So be on a lookout for that. And then some other things just catching up on is trying to get my logo finished and some other things finished for my sports show. And then, yeah, still a process, and it's always going to be a process, but I'm glad that you guys are all sticking with me through this process. So it's a great journey of mine, and I hope you guys are all enjoying it. So we're getting back here in 10 seconds. So here we go. And welcome back to Robbie's World of Sports right here on SportsTownChicago.com, where you can catch me every Monday at 5 o'clock. We're also live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, on all social media, all at Robbie's World of Sports. So go ahead and check out all my social media pages. Well, let's get right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's Monday night matchup, the San Francisco 49ers take on the Arizona Cardinals, all in Mexico City for Monday Night Football. This is a good matchup, and there is some breaking news. Kyle Murray is out for this game, and they are going to go with backup quarterback Colt McCoy. So that is the interesting news that Kyle Murray is out. He's still dealing with that hamstring issue. So Murray's out and Colt McCoy's in. So that should be a fantastic matchup with 82.7 predicting that San Francisco is going to win this game. I believe so too. You got Jimmy G, who's just doing his thing. Everybody out in the media world likes to call Jimmy porn star Jimmy. So that's what we'll go by. This guy is he's turned this team around since Trey Lance went down week 1 with that season-ending ankle injury. Jimmy G has just been on fire. He's really proven that he could still be a starting quarterback. Regardless of what, I know you want to give the kid an opportunity to see what the future is holding for this kid, but it doesn't look pretty. And 49ers fans are going to have to wait till next year to find out what type of quarterback they're going to get with Trey Lance. And the question is, do you re-sign Jimmy G for next year? Do you give him that another opportunity to come out next year and give you a solid season? Because you went all in this year with Trey Lance, and he got hurt in the first week. So, do you go ahead and re-sign Jimmy G? We shall see. But for this game, I think it's all 49ers. Again, like I said, Jimmy G is playing great. You got George Kittle, Deebo Samuel. You got all these guys that are just putting up big numbers. San Francisco's averaging 22 points per game. Arizona's averaging 23 points per game. Points per loud, Arizona's given up about 25.8 points per game, whereas San Francisco's only given up 18.1. So that's where I think you'll see San Francisco really shut down Arizona, especially when you don't have Kyle Murray as your quarterback. San Francisco's defense is really going to come in and really control this game from start to end. From what I see, looking at tonight's matchup. And then you have DeAndre Hopkins, who's questionable. Marquise Brown is obviously still on injured reserve. And then for San Francisco, not much. A couple of defensive players are out. So that really ain't going to really hamper that defense as much. So we'll see what happens tonight. Like I said, I got this game. San Francisco. I'm going to take San Francisco 31-17. I think Cardinals will find a way to score 17 points. But this is all San Francisco all day, all night. I'm picking them to win this game. Like I said, 31-17. We shall see what kind of team the Cardinals come out. With them not having Murray as their quarterback. Colt McCoy is a quality backup quarterback. He's always been a quality, a veteran backup, I should say. He's only 36 years old. He has a 3-1 record in the spots that he starts in the past 2 seasons. So, I mean, he has that going for him. But he has to play a team that has a defense that's top five, top three, in my opinion, top three defense this year. So Arizona's going to have a lot to work with, especially this defense with the 49ers. They're going to have to find a way to, run the ball. They're going to have to find ways to throw the ball around, to extend plays. But yep, 49ers all the way on this one, 31-17 for me. So, but coming up next on Robbie's World of Sports, we're going to get into a little segment. We're going to talk about Hossa's retirement ceremony. I was lucky to go last night and experience this event. It was something that I had circled on the calendar when the schedule came out, and when I knew that this day was coming, I'll tell you what, it brought a tear to my eye, and there was not a dry eye in the house. But coming up next, right here on Robbie's Rose Sports on SportsTownChicago.com, we're going to talk about Hossa's retirement right here on SportsTownChicago.com. So I don't have anything for that. So this is what we're going to do, because I have a I'll just do this one. Ugh. All right, so we're going into the final 15 minutes of the segment here. We're going to talk about Hossa's retirement ceremony, the game last night. It was an exciting game. They were down 3-0, I think, at one point. They tied it up, and then they had a chance to close it out or at least go into overtime, but they kind of coughed the puck up a couple of times, and then they had an empty netter, so they lost 5-3. But that wasn't the highlight of the story or the night, I should say. I would have to say the pregame ceremony, Hossa's retirement jersey, the banner being raised to the rafters. I don't think there's a dry eye in the building. I was a little teary-eyed myself. His speech was great, so we're going to get into that right now. So here we go. And welcome back to Robbie's World of Sports right here on SportsTownChicago.com. You're listening to, I'm your host, Robbie. We're going to get right into our last segment of the hour, Hossa's retirement jersey ceremony. I have to say, that was by far the best experience I've had at the United Center, at a Chicago Blackhawks. It was such an honor to kind of witness this whole thing. Like I said, I don't think there was a dry eye in the building. I had a tear in my eye. Everything that Hossa had to say was just dead on point with everything that he had accomplished here in Chicago as a member of the Chicago Blackhawks, what he brought to this city, three Stanley Cup champions. The guy was a difference maker, and it was rightfully so that the Chicago Blackhawks retired his number, making him the 8th member of the Chicago Blackhawks organization to get his number retired. And it was awesome. The party started in the atrium. They brought out 4 of his past players that he's played with on this team. Patrick Sharp, Duncan Keith, Jarmerson was in the building, and Brent Seabrook. They all had nice things to say about Marian Hossa, what he brought to this team, the ability to come in and really kind of take over the locker room. You got to understand, him coming into this league or coming into this team was in 2009. We had just brought up Taze and Kane. We were really a young squad to begin with. So his arrival in 2009, in November of 2009, the game against the Sharks was, and I remember it like it was just yesterday. I watched that game and I'm like, this guy is going to be the difference maker for us. And he showed it right off the bat. Like he showed you what type of player he was going to be for this team. And look at the career he had for the Chicago Blackhawks. He had himself an amazing career, winning 3 Stanley Cup champions for the city of Chicago. And he had a lot of nice things to say about his family, about his dad coaching him at a young age, coaching him and his brother in Slovakia. I mean, the list goes on and on. Eddie Olczyk was the kind of guest speaker, and Olczyk really did a nice job of giving the audience an inside depth of what it was to play with Marian Hossa. They also brought Kane and Taze on the ice for his ceremony. it was just, in my opinion, a great experience to witness. Great. The game was great. It was a back and forth. The Hawks kind of tied it up there late in the game, 3-3, and then third period, just they kind of gave it away. They lost 5-3 against Pittsburgh Penguins. So this team obviously is still in the phases of their rebuild. So, but it was good to see. And it's funny because I brought one of my buddies, and it's like he kind of like leaned over and he's like, man, this is like the Hawks games are not as exciting as they used to be. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Like, because that whole game was kind of a little boring. It was just like a lot of back and forth, not much scoring going on until late in the game, late in the second period and in the third. But it's like when I used to go watch the Blackhawks games used to be so exciting from start to finish. And now I'm starting to see this trend of where the madhouse is not as mad it used to be. I mean, the roar is not there. Granted, when we score, yeah, we celebrate, but it was not like it used to be in the past couple of years. And I don't know if that's just the culture that, we're changing cultures. I don't know, but I experienced that game, and I'll be honest with you, I was a little bit bored up until when the Hawks scored, and it's the same thing that when I watch them on TV. It's a very slow, boring game to begin with, and then obviously the game continues to be played out, and there's some goals. Yeah, there's goals, but like I said, it's not what it used to be in the last few years when we used to have our core players. And we don't even really have any core players. The only core players we have is Taze and Kane. That's pretty much the only people we have from when we all started this journey. So it's changing. You could definitely change. You could definitely see this organization going in a different direction. They're getting younger, and seeing the product being put out on the ice. There's a lot of good things, but we got to figure out what the next step is going into this organization forward. Definitely got to look for a new goalie. I think that's what their major priority for next year is we have to find a solidified number one goalie who's going to stop pucks for us day in and night in and night out, and a goalie that's going to give us the opportunities to win games. So Davison's got a lot of his work cut out for him during the offseason, kind of to see what direction he's going to go with this organization, what kind of culture we're going on. Obviously, he's getting younger, which is good. You want young players. You want to build those young players into what we made Taze and Kane to be. So it's good that we're getting young players. It's also good that we're getting younger. At the same time, we still need some veteran players to compensate those young rookies or these young players that don't have much of NHL experience. So it's going to be interesting to see what type of direction the Chicago Blackhawks are going to go into next season. But that, like I said, the ceremony was great. Kudos to the Chicago Blackhawks. They did a phenomenal job of the ceremony, the celebration. I was lucky to get a replica banner of Marian Hossa. It's great. It looks phenomenal. I love it. Unfortunately, I didn't get one signed because he did sign 81 of them, and I did not get one, so I'm a little upset. So if you're out there, if you do have one of those Marian Hossa signed banners, please reach out to me. I would love to have that. Please reach out to me. You can reach out to me at Robbie's World of Sports on my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever social media is at. I am on it. All you have to do is just look for me on Robbie's World of Sports. Reach out to me. I would love to have one of those. if you're not interested in keeping it. But that's pretty much it for the rest of my show, ladies and gentlemen. You have a wonderful week. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. I'll do probably go live on Thanksgiving and kind of go over some of those games. Let's see. Thursday, we have Bills at Detroit is going to be the first game. Giants at Cowboys is the second game. Or I take that back. Nope. Nope. Got that one mixed up. It's not the Giants and Cowboys. Oh, it is. I take that back. I was right. See, that's what I do for second guessing myself. So here's the matchups for Thursday. Buffalo at Detroit. That's a 11:30 a.m. game on CBS. New York Giants versus Dallas at Dallas at 3:30 on Fox, and then the nightcap is New England at Minnesota on NBC. So again, have a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving. Be sure to eat a lot of turkey, gobble, gobble, gobble. And I'll be sure to jump on live to kind of give you guys what I'm thankful for on Thanksgiving Day, and kind of let you guys chime in and let me know what you guys are all thankful for on that day, Thursday, on Thanksgiving Day. So have a wonderful night, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, I'll be right back here again next Monday, always at 5 o'clock right here on SportsTownChicago.com. And then you can catch me also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube, and Twitch, and all my social medias, all at Robbie's World of Sports. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful night. And those that are watching on Facebook, I'm waving to you goodbye. Have a wonderful night, everybody. And until then, we'll see you guys right here next Monday at 5 o'clock. Have a night.